As we continue on Module 1, we will look at expressions. So as we work these problems out, you will learn more than one way to do the same operation for these expressions. So let's get started with monomials. Monomial is basically a big word for an expression. A monomial is an expression generated by using only multiplication operator. So what we have in here are examples of monomials. So even though it might have more than one number or variable, or because they're being multiplied together, that would be considered a monomial. Now, when we are talking about monomials, there are two things that we are going to be looking at. The first one is the degree of the monomial. The degree of a monomial is the sum of the exponents of the variable symbols that appear in the monomial. Now, let's break that down a little bit. The sum of the exponents of the variables. So when we look at number 5, because there are no variables, this particular monomial, number 5, does not have a degree. So when we look at this particular monomial, the degree of this monomial would be considered 3. This is in the third degree. And when we look at degrees, we basically have to look at exponents. In this next monomial, we have negative 2x to the 5th power. We only look at the variable, which is x, and that is being raised to the 5th power. Therefore, the degree of that monomial is 5. This is a y to the 1st power, and we have our exponents then, and 2 plus 1 is going to give us 3. The degree of this monomial is going to be 3. Now, the other thing that we're going to be looking at when we look at monomials, other than the degree, is the coefficient. A lot of times monomials will have a coefficient, and the coefficient is just the number, the constant that we have, not the variables. Degree deals with exponents and variables. Coefficients deal just with numbers. So when we look at this first monomial, 5, there are no variables in here. There is only a constant or a number, 5. So the coefficient here would be a 5. When we look at x to the power of 3, we don't really have a number that we can see, but we do know that when we don't see a coefficient, the coefficient is 1. And here our coefficient is the number that is next to the variable, of course, so that would be in here our coefficient is negative 2, and in here again our coefficient is 1.